Oh my dog. Dog. Oh my dog.
Oh my dog, hey.
Oh my dog, hello.
We're back.
Back again. M&M in the house.
He doesn't sound like that at all.
I'm working on it.
We have another song that we thought about today that I haven't thought about since my childhood, which is How Much Is That Doggie in the Window?
No, man.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
We're going to talk about the finances of rescue and what it costs to save a dog. There will be some talk about questions that we have had related to like our adoption fees, you know, things like that, and why they have to be what they are, and why sometimes reduced adoption fees aren't great, all of that kind of stuff. But first and foremost, I'd like to talk a little bit about all that goes into saving a dog. So we get a dog in. We might have an owner release dog that's never been to the vet in its life. It needs all of its vaccines. It needs spayed. It needs neutered. It probably needs a dental. If we've got all of those things all in, we're probably minimum $500 for that dog. And that's just a dog that doesn't have any health concerns, right? It's just got regular needs. We want to make sure it goes out the door completely healthy and ready for its adoptive family. We can't charge $500 for every single dog that comes through the door. Every dog is not as, what's the word I'm trying to say? Desirable, right? Like, so, or like,
What's a nice way to say?
hard to get adopted, you know? So on the last episode, I talked about the cutest dog in the world, little tiny Ranch, the Shih Tzu puppy. That's a really cute dog. That dog from a breeder can be upwards of $1,000 or more if it's, and for us, if we've got a very young puppy, our adoption fee is $500, which will cover those kind of general spay, neuter, shots, all the stuff that it needs, and it's going to go out the door set. But we might then, the next day, pull a dog from the euthanasia list. Sight unseen. We've got no idea what's wrong with it. Mm-hmm. It shows up and it starts having symptoms of something that needs some diagnostic testing. We need to do full blood panel. That doesn't work, so then we need to do a more intensive blood panel. We find out that it has some sort of internal disease that needs medicine and treatment and all of the things. So there are some dogs that will have really large costs and some that are easier out the door, like an owner release that maybe has been to the vet always, and we might not have to do a lot before it's safe to adopt it out. It all ebbs and flows. We've got ups and downs. Holly's not talking because she's doing math on paper right now. So
I was just pulling the numbers. So we run a lot of our expenses, the majority of our expenses through my credit card for the miles, and Kara and I are hopefully someday maybe going to take a very nice vacation.
It's going to be great.
We're going to go credit card miles.
We're going to go somewhere where there are no dogs.
No, actually we did talk about this.
No, we want to do something actually really cool. Yeah, I'm excited about it.
There's a volunteer thing. There's a word for it, but there's a website and everything, but you can go and volunteer for a million different things. Like you can go volunteer with kids. I don't know how you do that for a vacation.
That sounds awful,
whatever.
But you
can go volunteer on a farm for a week, or you can go volunteer at like dog shelters.
Yes.
And they're all over. Like you can go to Fiji. You can go to a dog shelter on Fiji, and they want you to run their social media for a week, or they want you to clean kennels for a week, or walk dogs for a week, or whatever it is. And they put you up with a local family, and you have to pay like a very minimal
amount to get
like
there.
$165 for the week.
Yeah.
And you have to fly yourself there, and then you just volunteer for like 3 or 4 hours. Yes, Volunteer World.
Volunteerworld.com. So there, and not just dog rescue stuff. It's for everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we have a lot of knowledge in how to run a dog rescue, right? And so
but it would be interesting to go see how they do it somewhere else.
Learn
like
stuff.
with a beach.
And a tiki bar nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do.
Anyway, so we run the majority of
Some
expense.
people go to swim with the pigs. You're going to swim with the dogs.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, that'd be all right.
Yeah.
So I'm just pulling up my credit card statement recaps that I put together for myself every month because that's what I do. So just from the January statement through the June statement, so for the first 6 months, it was, and these are very rough numbers. I cushioned it to account for things that are not on my card that, that we run through.
Yeah, there's some that go straight through our bank account.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So it was $63,000, a little north of $63,000. Let me say that again, $63,000.
It's July.
And it's July, but this is just through June. So
oh yeah, so that was through. Holy crap!
Yeah, so if I go through June, we have from January 1st through June, and these dates aren't going to line up either. So these numbers are very, semi-accurate. We had 129 dogs. So 63,357 divided by 129 dogs. Yeah, 491. So the last year when I did this little exercise, it was a little more dead accurate, and it was $411 per dog on average is what it cost us.
Yep.
And so this is tracking $491 per dog is what
it costs us
cost on average to
get
take
them
these
ready
dogs
to go.
So when you think about that, most of our dogs are the adoption fee is less than $491.
Oh yeah, a lot of times if we get like a black pit bull puppy in, I try to do there's people out there like me who love a black pit bull puppy, and so for $350 that's a bargain and less than what it's taken for us. But occasionally, we have outside donations that allow us to lower that fee. But if we adopted every dog out at $100,
right, we wouldn't be here anymore.
We couldn't do this anymore.
No.
So we have to be able to sustain what we're trying to do in our mission.
Yep.
We are not making money. Holly and I do not take a salary or even tips.
The benefits to us are like, yep, that about sums it up. No, there are some benefits. I mean, don't get us wrong.
Yeah,
but they're few and far between, and they're usually not monetary. They're never monetary, actually.
No, not usually. We might get like a flea and tick treatment here and there,
right?
Or something like that.
Yeah. So which is always donated.
Yeah, like not for ourselves,
and it's going to expire next month.
Yeah,
so it's like okay.
Yeah, look, there's our Fiji vacation. So, it's in euros. You're gonna have to do this for me. So
it's close enough.
There's a Fiji place that we can go for as we vacation to take a break, get some R&R, help run a local animal shelter at Fiji in Nadi, Fiji, which I think Fiji is a good place to be.
Yeah.
For 452 euros per week in dollars, that is. I don't know how to do that.
452 euros to dollars is 488. The euro is pretty much the same.
Close. Okay.
So $500.
What?
So for $500 a week, your room, I think it includes like a breakfast and dinner or something like that.
Taxi, housing, and food.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a bargain.
Yeah. And it's not the whole time. Like, so you work and then you have the
like
time
3 or
off
4
to do
hours
whatever.
a day. Yeah.
So anyhow.
I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Send us, sponsor us, Venmo.
Want to send us to Fiji to
this
go
is
see
like
what happens?
Like
get
the
some
mission
content.
trips.
Yeah, send me on a mission trip to tell about our Lord and Savior, Oh My Dog.
Oh My Dog. But we do try to fundraise as well.
Yeah.
We do a lot of outside projects.
Because we'll have dogs that go not just a little outside that $491 per dog, but like $6,000 outside of that.
That is our most expensive dog.
I think so. Yeah.
And we've talked about that dog before. What's
the
his name?
dental Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton, yeah.
And then we also had a dog that had to have a heart repair. 2 dogs that had to have a heart repair.
Yeah.
One of which that was
sponsored by Critter Crusaders.
Critter Crusaders, which is an organization that helps rescue organizations help dogs and cats.
Emergency vet situations.
Yep.
Yeah. And the nail Gravy Jackson.
Yeah. Gravy.
Whatever the hell his name is. Zeppelin.
He had a lot of names.
That was like a $1,500 exploratory, basically.
Yeah, for him to push the nail out his butthole.
We would have just given him another hour and a couple treats. He would have done it all on his own.
Oh my gosh, I'd given him an espresso and he would have been done.
A coffee and a cig. And he would have been on his way. Oh, shit.
Next time. We know better now.
So we have people that donate to us monthly through like PayPal. They just set it up as a monthly donation. We've got a couple of people that do that. I know my mom does that. I know one of her friends does that.
Yeah.
Dog bless them.
Yeah.
One of our longtime supporters, your friend.
Yeah.
That you did Snoopy or Snopey, Slopey.
Sloopy.
Whatever.
But here's the deal. Mr. Sloopy, he donates just a small amount, like a lunch worth a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But over time, that adds up to a pretty decent sized bill, and it helps subsidize a lot of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So if everybody that is listening to this podcast set up an ongoing donation of $5, $10, $15, $20 or more if you're so inclined, but even $20 a month, the amount of good that we could do would be insurmountable. Yeah, it would really be.
And that's why, I mean, all of this, everything that we do in this rescue, it all kind of works together. So our social media presence, doing this podcast, all of this takes effort, it takes work, but it's to build a following and to build a brand that is, set in our values and our goals. Yeah. And it's followed by people that share the same values and same goals. So if you're here and you're listening to this, we know you're on our team. Yeah. We appreciate you being here and listening. If you, are, again, so inclined to set up a monthly donation, that would be awesome. Yep. If you're not, thank you for listening. Share this podcast, share our social media, and help us continue to spread the word, because that's how we can continue to do this and how we've been able to continue to do this, to cover that gap between the $491 on average that it costs and the $100 adoption fee that we get for the decrepit little crusty chihuahua that we almost had to pay somebody to take out the door.
Right. Exactly. I can't tell you the number of people since we've started doing this and since it's gotten, I mean, I wouldn't say that we're big, but I would say that we're becoming more well known in our geographic region, right? Like, people know we exist. They know we can help, and we get
heard of us.
We get a lot more calls. They say, I'll mention something like, oh, I have to go to work at whatever, I'm going to get off at this time. And they're like, wait a minute, you are still working? And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. And here's the deal. As much as since I was a little kid, I would have loved to have my career and lifestyle and, my housing and everything paid for by doing what I love, which is helping and caring for animals. I just know that's not realistic when my end goal is to do everything I can for the dogs. I'm not going to take a salary. Holly's not going to take a salary. No. Because what we're doing at the level that we're doing it at, if we were to take any money out of that, we'd be saving a quarter amount of dogs. Like, we wouldn't want to do that. No, that's not why we started doing this. No.
There are other things that we do too. Well, we have a lot of people, and I don't think a lot of people know about this, or maybe they do and I just am naive to it, but a lot of businesses have corporate donation matching. Yes. Or if you volunteer so many hours, which if you transport for us, if you foster for us, if you groom for us or whatever.
If you volunteer to do something, even if it's not for us, they then donate the amount of hours that you would have otherwise gotten paid during that time. They donate that to a nonprofit of your choice. Right. So, for instance, like Wells Fargo is a big one. We've got a lot of people who work for Wells Fargo here in the Des Moines and Iowa area. Yeah. And so those of you who love us enough to put us down as your favorite charity, when you do that volunteer time, we do get a small amount of money for doing that, and it adds up.
It does add up. Awesome. I get it's like Blackbird or Blackbot or
I don't know,
something like that. But I get checks from them probably once a week. Yeah. At least once every 10 days. It's like $60 or $40, or sometimes it's $160, whatever it is. But it all adds up.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, but you can use your volunteer hours. So
check with your
even my little
business.
I work for a very small locally owned company, and we even in our handbook have set aside volunteer days, so
Yeah.
you can take off volunteer days. So if you are on the Mutt Mafia page and you see a transport that
call.
needs to happen from Kansas City and you want to take the day to drive that transport for us,
Right.
like that's awesome, and that saves us time and money of going.
Yep.
You know?
And it helps Kara and I out. And I mean, we can't do this alone, obviously.
Yeah, and my car is always broken
Oh
down.
my God, that car.
So I can't drive.
Oh man, I've been
Yeah.
trying to talk that thing into totality. We also do t-shirt
Yeah, merch sales.
and fundraisers, like
Yes.
with Custom Ink, and what was the most recent one?
Bonfire. Which
Bonfire.
actually that one was really good because they let us keep it for longer than was like the campaign. So you can go on and
they
buy.
featured us.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did a lot of good social media feature for us. But yeah.
Now keep in mind with those t-shirt fundraisers, if you've looked at the website before, that we don't really get to pick the type of
Sizes
t-shirt or
and
the
types,
colors.
yeah.
Like they specifically obviously are trying to offload
Yeah.
this specific brand or this specific type of shirt, and it's
Right.
like, yeah, but it's no cost to us, so it's like, well, we get
Yeah.
what we get and we don't throw a fit.
That's right. And so we get a good portion of whatever that sale is, but then they don't give us any upfront cost. But we did purchase some
Right.
t-shirts
We
and
also
like
do
tank
that.
tops, like
Yeah.
what Holly's wearing. If you're watching the video, we have some in stock for those that say, hey, I really would like to support your stuff.
Yeah.
I actually had my neighbor sent me a text message last night and said, hey, I was following a fan of yours today, and it was somebody that had our Oh My Dog sticker on the back of their car. And
Right.
I looked at the license plate and I'm like, I don't know anybody that lives in that county, so that's kind of cool. I don't know how they got a sticker. It's probably for me. I was probably drunk and gave it to me at a bar or something. But that was fun. But yeah.
Yeah, t-shirts. If you're part of the Mutt Mafia, we have these really awesome jackets.
Yes, like
If
a
you need one,
members
we still have
only.
a few.
Yeah, we do still have those. So actually, we should share that. We've got a lot of new Fosters.
I mean, it's not really jacket season, but
no,
they're cool
yeah.
nonetheless.
Once it cools down, we've got like they have. It looks sort of like a Sons of Anarchy logo, but with our logo in
Yeah.
the middle of it, and then in a pink lady's jacket, but like
I
black.
freaking love it.
It's so
And it's so
ridiculous.
comfortable.
They're nice jackets.
Last year, we participated in the beer tent at the Madrid Labor Day Festival.
Yep.
We put on microchip clinics, so we get microchips in bulk at a very discounted rate,
Uh-huh.
and then we do microchip clinics for $20 a
Yep.
microchip, which is way cheaper than your vet,
It's $50 at the vet,
but it
at least.
definitely is not as much as what we spend on it. I mean, I think
No.
we spend like $2 or something on a microchip.
Yeah, they're not too bad. And actually, it's great because if your dog's not microchipped and you don't want to spend that much on it at the vet, like
Right.
it's a good service that way.
Oh, for
but
sure.
also as a fundraiser for
It's
us.
giving back, yeah.
Yeah.
Last year we did Ragbri. We handed out bottled water.
That was a lot of work.
Okay, the first day was bomb. It was so much fun. It was crazy busy. We did like over $4,000 in donations. We didn't sell it because I didn't want to deal with change and all
No.
that bullshit stuff.
Bullshit, Sue.
That was a lot of fun. I would love to do that again, maybe next year.
Yeah.
We just need to get on the route somewhere. So if you happen to be on the Ragbri route next year,
And you got a spot for
and you
a
got a cool spot that we could set up, that'd be cool.
tent with a bunch of water. Yeah, that was really fun. And actually, it was cool to get to talk to all of the Ragbri writers because as soon as they saw that we were a dog rescue,
They wanted to tell us all about their dogs.
I gotta tell you about Fluffy. It's the dog that changed my life. Where are you guys when I'm asking for my heart dog stories? Okay.
And we got to combine my passion of postcards, and everybody got to send their postcards home.
Tell what that is about. That's such a cute fundraiser. Somebody might want to reuse that in the nonprofit world.
Yeah, we just had these little postcards. It was a cute little postcard with the dogs on
a dog
bikes
riding a
and,
bicycle.
Ragbri, and then we just set up a table with the postcards and a mailbox, and then the next day I put stamps. Well, I had my nephews put stamps on all of them because there was a ton.
a lot.
And then we mailed them off.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, so they got to write a postcard home, and they could throw a donation in for
Yep.
the mailing of the postcard,
Yep.
and it was so cute. And then our little logo and the riding bicycle dog
Went
got to
all over the United States. I think we
Everywhere.
only missed like 3 states.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's cool. So we're always trying to find unique ways to fundraise. And we'll make a call out to that, people always ask us, well, are you applying for grants?
Oh. Yes, we do, actually. I apply for the Madrid Endowment Grant every year.
Yep.
Every year.
For 2 years.
For 2 years.
We're very busy. It's a lot of work to do.
That one is very easy, and they've made it very easy because this whole grant writing thing has gotten out of control.
Outrageous.
There are people that do this for a living. You know that? That write grants for a living. That's how intensive these things are. So
it's really difficult. In fact, we have an organization who gave us a grant, and then they also try to help us to find grants to apply for. So I logged in to this. It was a large national company, and you had to fill out all this stuff to be able to be even put in the running to apply for grants from them. Okay.
Right.
I started filling it out, and we are great record keepers. I have every line item for everything, and I didn't know the answers to some of the things, and so I gave up because it's so difficult.
Overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, and I don't have time.
And it's time consuming.
I don't have time to sit there for hours on end to fill out something, to give me the opportunity to fill out something. It's really difficult.
That might turn into $1,000 check or something like that.
Always. It's like, oh my gosh, I spent 40 hours on this and it's $1,000. I'm like, oh my land.
Which we're thankful for that too.
We are.
But
we're thankful for every penny. But, for 40 hours working on a grant to get $1,000, I should have just stood on the corner and hoped I didn't get caught. Lands.
I almost pounded on the table there.
That's why you got the headset.
You got a headset on.
Yeah.
We used to joke about that, about we're going to have to go stand out on the corner here pretty soon if we don't get some donations. Oh, shit. We put on that awesome bingo night. We need to do that again. That was fun.
We had the owners of, what is that place called? It's
over River.
Sherwood Forest Event Center.
But what's that little bar that's tied to it, that dive?
Oh, yeah, the Ridgemont.
That's
so they own the Ridgemont, and then they own a vet center next to it. That's kind of very close to my house, Windsor Heights, Urbandale, Clive
by
area.
the Bucks Arena.
Yeah, right across the street from the Bucks Arena.
Yeah.
Wonderful human beings who own that. Like, let me tell you, if you ever need an event, if you want to go hang out at a bar, this is the place to spend your money in our community. They're awesome. But they offered up their event center at no cost to us, gave us workers to help man the bar, no cost to us, and we ran a bingo event, and it
freaking sold out, man.
It sold out.
Like 120 people. I was blown away.
I still can't even hardly believe it happened, and we were like, oh, and we need to do it again, but we've just been so busy with the rescue part of rescue that we really need to take a step back and start a committee to work on organizing this. And so that'll be a call out that I think we'll probably see coming soon in Mafia, because it's time for us to do another fundraiser event.
Yep. I mean, we've done 165 dogs so far this year.
Yeah, and last year we hit exactly 200, so that's saying that we're going to go over that this year for sure.
For sure. What else do we do? Oh, we work with our vets. All the vets that we take fosters to have discounted their rates for us. We work with them on discounted spays, dentals, vaccinations. And also perks and bonuses. University West hooks us up with flea and tick and dewormer, and they give a free wellness exam to adopters.
Yep.
They've been great partners. Boone Vet Hospital. I know for a fact there is a ton of work that they do that never hits the books.
Yep. Family Pet, which we talked about on one of our last episodes, they're a little smaller, so we don't take as many dogs to them, but when we do and they're able, they donate a lot of their services. They do a lot of training for their incoming vets and interns and things, and they oftentimes will say, hey, you've got dogs that need XYZ, bring them on in, and it'll be on
a lot of dogs have fallen onto their x-ray table.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of dogs have. Ooh, they tripped and fell onto the x-ray table. So that's awesome. So we really appreciate all of those partners who help us.
Community Vet in Nevada, their rates are phenomenal.
Yeah, they do a really good job, and they get us in quickly, and very good pricing. Yep. So
we try to balance that with proximity to fosters. So I know, when I'm fostering a dog and it has to go to University West, and they
And
have to
it's
be
like a
there
7:30
at
drop-off.
7:30 in the morning, and I just want to.
You want to send the dog on its way with a homing beacon and
Like,
say, good luck.
Mom, do you want to transport a dog tomorrow morning to Des Moines at
Yeah.
rush hour?
So we try to make it easy for the fosters when we can to get to the vet that one of our vet partners that's close to them.
Yeah.
But like we're different than like the ARL who has veterinarian staff and things
Right.
like that. Like so
I
we
would love
have
to have a vet on staff or a mobile vet one day. My mom always said if she ever won the lottery, that's what she was gonna get, like a vet mobile,
yeah.
like one of those great big giant like
Yep.
the band
Where
the band buses. What do
Yeah.
they call those?
yes, where they can do even surgeries in these mobile
Yes,
clinics. It's
X-ray
amazing.
surgeries, the whole bit.
There's one in Des Moines called Mojo Vet. And we have not used them specifically, but that's what they do. They're
Mobile vet?
majority mobile vet. And
There
so-
used to be a mobile vet in Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have an old coworker who is a swine veterinarian. And she occasionally will say, hey, my dogs are due for shots. I'm going to buy a vial of rabies. Do you want me to come over? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, please.
Which I totally understand why it all is regulated and whatnot, but I wish there was a way that like people like you and I could get certified or whatever. Or
I wish we could get vaccine certified. That would be really nice.
Is that a thing? Can we do that?
I've Googled it at length, and I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think you have to be a DVM.
But then, how do sometimes these breeders like self-vaccinate their dogs? How do they do that? Because they're
Can they do that?
well, I think not like rabies, but
No,
like I
not
think
rabies. No, you can buy the other stuff on the shelf at Baumgar's.
some of it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I would like to be able to.
But
give
they're already there
vaccines.
at the vet. They're under, like, just,
Right.
I mean,
But
and
occasionally
they're giving us discounted rate. Like, are we really saving anything by doing it ourselves? And
I don't know.
it's a whole nother level. That's a whole
It's
nother
true.
level.
I've actually stopped. I used to personally like microchip every dog that we had come in because I wanted it done right away and I wanted to have it on file. But now I just have a box of microchips at the vet, and I'm like, when you take your dog, get that done.
Yeah.
And it works pretty good just because it was so much for me to physically have my hands on every dog.
Right.
Whereas now there's dogs that are on our list and Holly, I
Don't even lay eyes on them.
who they are.
Which I used to worry about that, getting too far removed from it. But I think that's kind of the
We're
point. Is
very
like,
far from
not
being too
the
far
point-
removed, but yeah, we're very
very far away.
we're
from
very
that.
we're very in it, not removed. Yeah.
But I think that's, you got to rely on your people, and you got to train up your people and
Well,
trust them, and that's what we do.
We've got really great volunteers. Recently, because of all of these crazy intakes, 24 and up in the last couple of weeks, we have a lot of new volunteers. They're all wonderful, but I'm starting to see our old volunteers blossom and be able to help take some of this off of our shoulders. And it's
And she doesn't mean old like your old hags. She
as
means
they're as old a hags
an
as we are.
OG.
Once you've saved
Speak for yourself.
Once you've saved 1,000 dogs,
Right.
you lose a tooth and get a wrinkle. I don't know.
No, they're doing great. Marissa, I see it in Marissa a lot lately.
Yeah, Marissa has been a huge.
She's like,
helper.
just to help the gals out. I'm like, oh, God bless you.
Yeah, there's all these questions, and she's like, I'll answer. I'm like, oh my gosh, good. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we really wanted to just touch on the ins and outs of the finances of a small rescue. We are doing fine because we've had a lot of support, but it doesn't stop. Like, we constantly have money going out, and we constantly
Right.
have to fight to keep in the, what is it, in the green, not in the red. What is it?
Right. Above the line.
Above the line. And,
so on average, it's over $10,000 a month.
yeah, to run a rescue.
Yeah.
At our
clip.
At our clip, which is a lot for us and our max capacity, I would say,
Yeah.
but not a lot for a large scale rescue. But those people get paid.
Right. That's all public record too, by the way.
It is. You can look up, your favorite rescue that you're supporting. You can look up, how much their director is getting paid. You can look up. So I just
how many donations they took in last year, like over $1 million or so.
Things like that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You look that up.
And here's the thing that I will say about that is every rescue that we run into, that we've worked with, that we hear about, that shuts down, that opens up, all of them. We're all here for the same reason.
Yeah.
Is to save the dogs. The dogs is the number one priority. That's always that's the top and bottom line, period, full stop.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little aggravating when all you hear is about one rescue or one organization, and everybody knows about it, so everybody just automatically donates to that one rescue. Well, and it's like, hey, listen, again, that's all public record.
Everybody's filling all the gaps.
Follow your dollars.
Yep.
Because some of your dollars are going to somebody's salary. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve a salary. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's their rescue. Yeah. That's how they run it.
Yeah.
And that's their business. Yeah. And good for them.
Yeah.
But just,
if you want, 100% of your donations to go to the dogs, you can research and see what rescues do that.
Right.
Truthfully. I keep seeing these posts about, and I don't know the accuracy of them all, but like about the director of the SPCA.
Oh.
And, they're paid hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is like one of the largest intakes of donations for animal welfare. Well, cool. They do a lot of work, and they do work on such a larger scale than Holly and I could ever imagine. However, if I'm going to give money and I'm living a normal lifestyle and I can afford to give $20 a month to anybody, I'd rather give $20 a month to somebody who I know where that $20 is going rather than for a $500,000 salary.
Yeah. The CEO of the ASPCA made last year $750,000 base salary, $276,000 in bonuses. How does that work?
What's the bonus?
And like $47,859 in benefits for a grand total of $1,073,074,000.
Yeah.
Over $1 million
in salary. So
the hell.
Even if you're just choosing, not saying that the ASPCA doesn't need funds, they sure do, but obviously not as bad as like your local animal shelters, your local animal rescue groups like ours. Like we are quite literally looking every month to see how much it's costing us to save each dog, to make sure that we can maintain, and knowing, I might have a spot for this dog to go, but do I have the funds for it? Can I handle, like, if I see a dog that is really, like, in poor health, and I know that we could save it and give it a good life, but it's going to need $10,000 worth of help. Like, where do you draw that line? It's difficult.
It's a hard call to make.
It is,
And, that's a hard call to make for a pet owner.
Yeah.
When you've got the, the heartstrings in it, but it's just as hard here. It's like, if I don't save this dog, it's quite literally going to be euthanized. It's going to die. So it's, you're at that.
Yeah.
It's not a choice for us.
Yeah. So this all rose from the fact that fairly regularly we have people question our adoption fees, which average around $300, $350, more for puppies, less for dogs that are maybe older or have been on our site for a while and have sponsorships, things like that. And my response is always, unless I have the funds to be able to reduce the adoption fee and I truly think it's the right adopter who is going to be able to help that dog for the rest of their life, if you're asking me to reduce a $350 adoption fee right now, what are you going to do in 3 months when that dog has a health issue and needs to go to the vet? What are you going to do? Are you going to call me again and tell me that you can't care for this dog anymore and that it's going to come back to me and then that reduced adoption fee is going to bite me in the butt? Like, it's a little bit of that, like, yeah, I don't want to make adoption unattainable, but $350 for a dog is not ridiculous when we're spending $490 to vet it.
Right. Our average adoption fee for this year is $369.78.
Yeah.
I don't know how it gets cents in there, but all right.
$370. Yeah, there shouldn't be cents, but maybe. Yeah, so some of our dogs, you know, like we've mentioned, like if we've got a little more money in the bank in that moment and we're able to drop some adoption fees because of donations and things like that, great. But otherwise, we have to make sure that those dogs are going to be taken care of and that the people are serious adopting them.
Right.
When you have those pay what you want adoption days, you have those $25 adoptions.
Name your price. Yeah.
Get out of here with that. I mean, I hate to
you're basically temp fostering is what's happening.
because a really high percentage of those dogs come back because people, I've said this before, don't got no buy-in, right? Like they're getting a dog and
they need some skin in the game.
they give them $25. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that's certainly not coming from a place of greed that we should get more money for dogs. It's just that if you're serious about taking a dog into your home, that you need to help the people who helped that dog cover the expenses.
Well, if they were to pick that dog up off the street or get it from wherever we got it from, they would have to get all that vetting done anyway, and so that would have been more than what we're charging. So, I mean...
Yeah. So...
And I know that we do more vetting than some rescues do.
Yeah.
I mean, some rescues, it's like all they legally have to do is rabies.
Yeah.
And they can be adopted out.
Yeah.
They don't have to do any of the other vaccinations. They don't have to spay or neuter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when the compliance officer came to inspect us, he's like, so do you spay and neuter all of them? I'm like,
what do you mean? Yeah?
Yeah.
In fact,
are there people that aren't? Because that's not what this is about.
We're trying to stop all that from happening. We had a really elderly male dog just get adopted out, and his otherwise health was not good enough to go under for the neuter. So that's the only dog I think that we have purposefully said, like, hey, just so you know, here comes a dog with balls.
Right. They're there on purpose.
Those berries are dangling and they should remain there because he's 100.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But otherwise, no.
They're all getting... So they all get spayed or neutered, the dental if they need them. Uh-huh. All their Did you already go through this?
Yeah.
All the vaccinations.
Yeah, while
That's
you
when
were
I was doing mathing.
You were mathing.
All right.
But
Sorry about that.
It's good. It's good.
Multitasking.
Yes. But anyhow, just know that the folks that are doing the work that you all are passionate about, clearly, because you're listening to a podcast ramble about dog rescue, it takes a lot of money. And so, you know, when you're going through that Starbucks drive-through and you get the like very expensive drink every day, and if you could just not do that one day a week, set that money aside, get on PayPal, make a donation for $10 a month. I don't know why Sarah McLaughlin is not playing any music behind me while I'm saying this right now.
Can you
but
dub that in?
If she could. I'm hearing it.
Oh, God.
Okay. Yes, please help us, help the dogs, and quit complaining about adoption fees. We're not making any money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're all volunteers.
that's the other thing. Lastly, before we wrap up.
Do you remember that lady that was like, I want to talk to your manager or something like that?
She goes, obviously your staff was not, I'm like, I was telling my husband about this. And I was like, yeah, this lady said that I had a staff. And he goes, yeah. I
immediately knew everything I need to know about this woman.
Yes, like, I wish I had a staff and I wish I had a paycheck. No, I don't, because I would just give the paycheck back to the rescue because we're doing this for what it is, But anyway, regardless, we started this rescue because we knew that we could promote it enough to make it work, and it has gone very well, and we're very proud of that.
Yeah.
And we continue to just work together to figure it out, and we're appreciative for every single person that donates along the way to help us do so and that believes in us.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much, guys. Thanks for supporting this dream and supporting the work that we're doing and saving all the dogs.
Yeah.
We'll continue to figure it out.
We will.
Bye.
Dog. Oh my dog. Dog.
I said you were first.
Oh my dog.
What I mean when I to see, wanna do it, I'm a freak with her.